Hello, friends. I'm here with you again on another topic, that is a sampling, which is one of the important topic of fundamentals of research. Sampling is one of the tools and technique of data collection. So, welcome to my channel. Those who have not yet subscribed, I request them please subscribe for more videos. Now we'll discuss sampling. Sampling is one of the important tool for the collection of data. Now, our whole research is based on the kind of sampling, the quality of sampling that we have collected to analyze and scrutinize our data. सॅम्पलिंग म्हणजे काय, तर आपण संपूर्ण समुदायाचा अभ्यास करू शकत नाही, परंतु त्याचं एखादं उदाहरण म्हणून, त्याचा एखादा सॅम्पल म्हणून त्याचा अभ्यास करून आणि त्या अभ्यासाचे निष्कर्ष हे आपण संपूर्ण समुदायासाठी लावू शकतो किंवा वापरू शकतो. त्याला म्हणायचं सॅम्पलिंग. त्यालाच आपण उदाहरण असं म्हणतो किंवा उपमा असं म्हणत असतो. ओके, नाउ विल अंडरस्टँड व्हॉट इज मीन बाय सॅम्पलिंग. A sample is a portion of people drawn from a larger population. Now, sample is a portion of people. It is just a unit. It is just a fraction of whole population. Now, what is meant by population? In a research, the word population has a different meaning. The population means all those people with the characteristics which the researcher wants to study within the context of a particular research problem. It is a population. A population means all those people, those who are having the characteristics or the features which the researcher wants to study. पॉप्युलेशन म्हणजे असा कुठलाही समुदाय की ज्या समुदायाचा अभ्यास Now, what are the purposes of sampling? Why the sampling is important? What is the object of collection of sampling? Very first is the large population. When a researcher is conducting a social research, economic research, or a political research in the area of political fields, then this field is very much larger, and hence he cannot conduct a study, and therefore he has to collect a precise or a specific sample. And therefore, when there is a large population involved in the research work, at that time the sampling proved very helpful. Then, limited time and funds. We have to conduct our research within the stipulated period of time to draw inference. When we collect a sample, we conduct a research on the sample, and then we draw certain conclusions or inferences. Then that inferences is applicable to the population also. The population from which we have borrowed or drawn certain samples. जसं समुद्राचा पूर्ण अभ्यास करणं शक्य नाहीये, आणि मग अशा वेळेस आपण समुद्राचं थोडंसं पाणी आपल्या प्रयोगशाळेमध्ये वापरत असतो, आणि मग ते पाणी आणि समुद्र याचे गुणधर्म सारखेच असल्याने समुद्राच्या पाण्यावर जो आपण अभ्यास करणार आहोत, रिसर्च करणार आहोत, त्या रिसर्चचे कन्क्लुजन किंवा इन्फरन्स हा संपूर्ण समुद्रावर आपण लावू शकतो, आणि म्हणून सॅम्पलिंग इज व्हेरी हेल्पफुल इन कंडक्टिंग अ रिसर्च. Then it is very economical and practical, because sampling is the portion of the population, and therefore to conduct a research on the samples which we have collected from the population is very economical, and it is practical also, because in our research laboratories or in our research field we have to collect a practical conclusions, and that practical conclusions can be derived from the quality sampling. What are the types of sampling? In general, in common parlance, there are two kinds of sampling: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. The word itself is self-explanatory. Probability sampling means where samples are having representative character of population, and non-probability sampling means they are not probable. The sample may not have all the characteristics of the population. Now let us understand what is a probability sampling. Probability sampling is where every unit of the population has an equal probability of being selected for the sample. Means the sample and the population has equal characteristics or the similar characteristics, similar features, and therefore the probability sampling is highly chosen for the purpose of research. म्हणजे आपण जो रिसर्च करत आहोत, जो पॉप्युलेशन किंवा ज्या समुदायासाठी आपण हा रिसर्च करत आहोत, त्या समुदायातले असे सॅम्पल निवडायचे की जे सॅम्पल संपूर्णपणे त्या पॉप्युलेशनशी, त्या समुदायाशी निगडित किंवा जुळणारे असे आहेत. Then probability sampling has a high degree of representativeness. It represents the population, and therefore the probability sampling is highly used in conducting a research. Particularly a kind of social science or a business research, the probability sampling is used. Also in pure science also the probability sampling is used. Now probability sampling is of different kinds that we can see here in this chart. The probability sampling is primarily divided into six subcategories. They are the simple random by one. Now let us understand first the simple random sampling. Now the name itself suggests it is a simple, randomly we choose the person. A single member of population is chosen. Sampling. This kind of sample can be selected by way of lottery method or blindly method or by Tippett's table. We can use the simple random sampling. Moving further, a stratified random sampling. Here we use stratified method. We use a kind of data which is divided into a number of strata. Strata means the categories or a certain kind of people. We create a group and subgroups of the population, and out of that we choose our sample. This is known as stratified random sampling. म्हणजे सगळ्या लोकांचा अभ्यास करायचा आहे, मात्र त्यातले आपण काय करतो, लोकांचे विविध प्रकार करतो. श्रीमंत लोक, अतिश्रीमंत लोक, मध्यमवर्गीय आणि अल्प उत्पन्न असणारे लोक, असे आपण त्याचा स्ट्राटा किंवा त्याचा डिव्हिजन तयार केलं, सबग्रुप तयार केले आणि त्याच्यातून आपण ही stratified random sampling करतो. A division of population is based on certain criterion, for example gender, class, religion, etc. Just now I told you about the class. Then this stratified random sampling is of two kinds: proportionate and disproportionate. Proportionate stratified random sampling means where a sample unit is proportionate to the size of the sampling unit of the population. फॉर एक्झाम्पल मराठा लोकांची संख्या ही 1,00,000 आहे आणि मग सॅम्पल जर निवडायचा असेल तर किती निवडावं लागतील आपल्याला, 10% म्हटलं तर 1,00,000. म्हणजे त्या प्रोपोर्शन मध्ये मध्यमवर्गीय किती मराठा समाजातले, मध्यमवर्गीय 80% आहेत. उत्पन्न कमी असणारे म्हणजे दारिद्र्य रेषेखाली असणारे किती आहेत, 5% आहेत. अतिश्रीमंत 2% आहेत. श्रीमंत 8% आहेत. आणि मग त्याचा प्रत्येकाचा प्रपोर्शन नुसार आपण तिथून सॅम्पल गोळा करतो. त्याला म्हणायचं proportionate but stratified random sampling. And opposite to it, a disproportionate stratified random sampling, where the samples are not in proportion to the population. Sample unit is not related to the units of the target population. This is known as disproportionate stratified random sampling. Okay. Now next one is the systematic or interval sampling. सिस्टमॅटिक म्हणजे काय, ठराविक काळानंतर किंवा ठराविक पिरियडचा इंटरवल देऊन आपण सॅम्पल गोळा करतो त्याला म्हणायचं सिस्टमॅटिक ऑर इंटरवल सॅम्पलिंग. इन दिस सॅम्पलिंग द सॅम्पल युनिट्स डिपेंड्स ऑन द सिलेक्शन ऑफ अ प्रिव्हियस वन. म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल ऑड, इवन याला आपण सिस्टमॅटिक किंवा इंटरवल सॅम्पलिंग असं म्हणू शकतो. म्हणजे ऑड डेट्सला डाव्या बाजूला पार्किंग करायचे आहे, इवन डेट्सला उजव्या बाजूला पार्किंग करायचे. दिस इज अ सिस्टमॅटिक ऑर इंटरवल सॅम्पलिंग. किंवा अशा लोकांचं सिलेक्शन करायचं आहे की जे ठराविक पिरियड नंतर म्हणजे 1 मध्ये 5चा गॅप ठेवायचा आहे, मग 6 नंतर परत 5चा गॅप ठेवायचा आहे, 11 अशा ठराविक गॅप नंतर ठराविक इंटरवल नंतर आपण सॅम्पल चूज करायचे आहेत. दी जनरली this kind of sample is used which is given in a mathematical formula, that is capital N divided by small n. In this, a capital N represents the number of units in the target population. The total number of units means how many persons or peoples are there in our population, and divided by the number of units of the population. How much units of sample we wants to collect. फॉर एक्झाम्पल 1,00,000 लोक असतील आणि आपल्याला 10 जण त्या ठिकाणी सिलेक्ट करायचे आहे, तर 1,00,000 डिवायडेड बाय 10 असे आपण त्या ठिकाणी करू शकतो. किंवा त्याचं जे काही सिलेक्शन आहे सॅम्पलचं, इट इज आफ्टर एव्हरी स्पेसिफिक इंटरवल आपण त्याच्यामध्ये दिला असतो, त्याला म्हणायचं सिस्टमॅटिक ऑर इंटरवल सॅम्पलिंग. याचा फायदा असा होतो की ठराविक रिप्रेझेंटेशन त्यामध्ये निवडलं जात असतं. परंतु याचा जो काही तोटा आहे तो असा आहे की जेन्युइन जे सॅम्पल आहे ते हातात येतीलच असं नाही. नाउ द क्लस्टर सॅम्पलिंग. रिसर्चर्स डिवाइड द एंटायर पॉप्युलेशन इनटू सेक्शन्स ऑर क्लस्टर्स दॅट रिप्रेझेंट अ पॉप्युलेशन. म्हणजे रिसर्चर काय करतो, त्याचं जे काही संपूर्ण पॉप्युलेशन आहे हे वेगवेगळ्या सेक्शन मध्ये किंवा ज्याला क्लस्टर ग्रुप आपण म्हणतो त्याच्यामध्ये तो डिवाइड करतो. बट दॅट क्लस्टर शाल रिप्रेझेंट अ पॉप्युलेशन. द इनिशियल क्लस्टर्स आर प्रायमरी सॅम्पलिंग युनिट्स. आणि परत मग आपण इनिशियल, सेकंडरी किंवा थर्ड असे वेगवेगळे क्लस्टर त्या ठिकाणी तयार करू शकतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल शिवाजी विद्यापीठात अंदर असणारे कॉलेजेस, मग क्लस्टर कॉलेजेस कोणते, तर लॉ कॉलेज वेगळे, आर्ट्स कॉलेज वेगळे, कॉमर्स वेगळे, सायन्स वेगळे. लाईक दॅट वी कॅन क्रिएट अ क्लस्टर. आणि मग लॉ कॉलेजेससाठी एक वेगळं कॉलेज आपण त्या ठिकाणी देऊ शकतो, दॅट इज क्लस्टर कॉलेज. नाउ दिस क्लस्टर्स within the primary clusters are known as secondary sampling, and clusters within the secondary clusters are known as multi-stage clusters. That is another kind or a type of probability sampling. For example, we can divide the city into wards, we can divide the wards into areas. Now wards is a primary cluster, areas are again a secondary cluster. Again, areas can be divided into colonies or depending upon the specific territorial area. Now multi-stage sampling. Now as we have seen in earlier slide, multi-stage sampling means a division of secondary clusters into another clusters is known as multi-stage sampling. Sampling is selected in various stages, but only the last sample of objects is studied. Now we'll understand what it is. Researcher divide the entire population into sections or clusters that represent a population, and after making a division into a clusters or sections, the researcher choose a last sample of the population. And therefore, in this multi-stage sampling, the last person is very important. That we'll understand with the help of this example. For example, to study the panchayat system in villages in India, we have to divide India into zones, zones into states, states into districts, district into blocks, and blocks into villages. Now we have to study the panchayat system in villages, and therefore we have to select certain villages from blocks, and thereafter we can study the last sample, that is a village is the last sample. Out of that villages we can select a few persons or a few panchayat system to study the panchayat system in India. This is a multi-stage sampling. And similarly multi-phase sampling, in this researcher divide the entire population into sections or clusters that represents a population. This process is known as a multi-stage sampling, which we have seen earlier. Now in this multi-stage sampling we have to create another phase. For example, each sample is adequately studied before another sample is drawn from it. Here, if you take earlier example, before moving to zones, states, district, blocks and villages, we have to study each point at zone level, at state level, at district level, at block level, and then at village level. In multi-stage sampling, we select only the last one, that is the villages. But in multi-phase sampling, we select sample from each phase, that is multi-phase sampling. And therefore, in multi-phase sampling, all samples are researched by the researcher. Then moving further, a non-probability sampling. This is a kind of another kind of sampling, probability and non-probability. Non-probability sampling is every unit does not get the chance of being selected. That is, it does not have a representative character with the population. But this sampling is also very helpful, particularly in conducting exploratory research. Because in exploratory research, the prime object of researcher is to explore the area of research, is to explore, is to investigate into the scope of the subject. And therefore, in this kind of research, there is no list of persons to be studied. Any person which come across to the researcher, he has to study that person, and therefore the researcher does not make any list of specific persons to be studied. And therefore non-probability sampling is useful in conducting exploratory research as such. Now the exploratory research can be divided into 5 subcategories. They are, you can see in this picture, this non-probability sampling is divided into 5 subcategories, that is convenience, non-probability sampling, purposive sampling, quota sampling, snowball and volunteer sampling. We'll study one by one. Convenience sampling, as the name itself suggests, the convenience sampling is also known as accidental or haphazard sampling. Accidental or haphazard sampling means whichever any person which come across to the researcher conducts research on that person, and therefore it depends upon the convenience, how much convenient the researcher is in choosing the sample. The researcher studies all those persons who are most conveniently available, or the persons who accidentally come in his contact during a certain period of time. Generally, you can see this convenience sampling in while conducting a street interview. The media person, the journalist, conduct the convenience sampling. For example, during election, the media person conduct the street interview on street. Uh, any person who is available on the street, the journalist conduct the interview of such person. Then purposive sampling is also known as a judgmental sampling. Here the researcher purposely chooses the person who in his judgment thought to be relevant to the research topic and are easily available to him. Means the researcher chooses certain samples purposely, all those samples which are conveniently available, and those samples according to researcher are best suitable to research work. quota sampling. Quota sampling is a kind of stratified sampling that we have seen in probability sampling. But here in this quota sampling, instead of dividing the population into strata, the researcher divides the population in quotas. Quota means a particular fixed number of people. Quota is fixed by the researcher as per their proportion in the entire population. For example, in Maharashtra, the Hindus are 70%, Muslims are 18%, Christians are 10%, Jews are 1%. Like that, we can create a quota in terms of percentage. For example, quota as per number of population. For example, in reservation also the quota sampling is used. Then snowball sampling. Researcher begins the research with the few respondents who are known and available to him. In snowball sampling, researcher begins the research. For example, if I started my observation, then I will start the observing the behavioral pattern of my son, my daughter, my neighbor, my colleagues, like that. This is known as snowball sampling. And thereafter, they give me another respondents. These respondents give name of other persons who meet the criteria of research. Then my son will tell me that another student having a same characteristics or the same problem, and therefore that will be a good sample for you. This is known as a snowball sampling. म्हणजेच काय की फॉर एक्झाम्पल LIC वाले असतात किंवा मार्केट चेन मार्केटिंग ज्यांचा बिझनेस असतो ते अशा प्रकारचं स्नोबॉल सॅम्पलिंग वापरतात. सुरुवातीला आपल्या जवळच्या व्यक्तीला ती पॉलिसी विकली जाते आणि मग त्याला विचारलं जातं की अजून कोणी असं आहे का पॉलिसी विकत घेणारं, आणि मग तो व्यक्ती इतर व्यक्तींचे नाव सुचवतो. त्याला आपण स्नोबॉल सॅम्पलिंग असं म्हणतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, वेन टार्गेट इज अननोन टू whom we are going to target, then in such any person can be a good target or good customer for the researcher, and therefore this snowball sampling is conducted. Then the last one is the volunteer sampling. Volunteer sampling, the word itself suggests the person volunteer himself, the respondent volunteer himself to give information. Whatever information he holds, he is ready to further, and therefore after giving advertisement, generally the researcher publishes the advertisement that I want to conduct a research of such kind of people. Those who are ready, please give me the information. And in this volunteer sampling, generally the person who have experienced the same thing which the researcher wants to study, such kind of people volunteer themselves in conducting research work. This is a volunteer sampling. I hope you like the video. Thank you very much. This is the video on the sampling. You can find another videos on the research area as well as on the law topics. I hope this will be helpful for you. Thank you very much. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe it. Thank you very much.